How often do you take a potential client out but you don't get the business? Even once feels like too often. You shouldn't take it personally, but there's ways to enhance your prospects that are pretty simple. Common sense, really, if you put yourself in their shoes. You might as well improve your conversion rate, right? If you can. So let's ponder what they're thinking today on Zippy Point. I'm Brock Romanek. I'm a big fan of U's. When it comes to landing that next client, it often feels like a crapshoot, and that's because it is. There's a lot of factors outside your control that you probably don't even know about, but there are things you can do to improve your chances if you got a shot at all. You need to put your best foot forward and not make the common mistakes that many of us do. The 5 biggest mistakes that you can make and fix are: 1, ask what type of place they like. 2, ask whether they want it social only. 3, listen and mirror. 4, if they want to pitch, use your elevator. 5, ask why you didn't get the business. 1, ask what type of place they like. This is a big pet peeve of mine. The person taking me out assumes that I want a fancy place for lunch, to show that they value me as a potential client. But I'm just not like that. I like it casual. I like it healthy. So they book us a spot at a swanky place, and I sheepishly have to request that they change it. We've already started out awkwardly. So ask what type of place they want. Ask whether they want to pick the place, or should you. Some people have a preference for where they go. Why not give them exactly what they want? 2, ask whether they want it social only. Ask them in advance what their desires are for the format of the lunch. Is it purely social, mostly social, or dive right into their business needs? This may seem a little strange to ask, particularly if you don't know the person well, but again, you're trying to give them what they want, not guess what that might be. So to really nail it, it's a fair thing to ask, and it really should leave a good impression since you're catering to their desires. When you get to the venue, confirm what they told you in advance is still the case. Maybe they asked for a pitch when you asked them in advance, but they're having a horrible day and they're not up to hearing it. Or conversely, now they realize they don't have time to get the pitch at another time, and so they don't really have time to be social, so they want to do it now. So be prepared to switch modes. Be prepared for anything. 3, listen and mirror. This is the hard one. It's about them. It's not about you. Shocker, I know. Our natural instinct is to do most of the talking. After all, you're here to impress, but anyone can talk. Few can listen, and really listen. Take mental notes of everything they're saying. You can get a really good feel for who they are. Then you'll be able to match them with someone in your office who might be the best personality match for them if that person isn't you. That really matters. When I was in-house, I valued personality fit over their law firms in substantive chops almost in every and I doubt I'm alone. If you're not a good listener, like many of us, try practicing the mirror technique at home and in the office before you go. You repeat the last few words someone says in the form of a question when they pause. That subtly encourages them to keep going because you just demonstrated that you're listening. So for example, right before they pause, their last sentence was, "So I got up after that nasty fall and couldn't walk straight for a week." And you respond, "So you couldn't walk straight for a week?" in the form of a question. It works every time. They'll keep going and going, and they're going to love you for it. Trust me, try this on your friends and your loved ones. 4, if they want to pitch, use your elevator. So speaking of listening, decide whether you need to tailor your typical elevator pitch based on what you've heard so far in the lunch. Don't blindly launch into your typical elevator pitch without considering what your audience just told you. I'm calling it an elevator pitch for a reason. If it were reduced to writing, it should be a set of bullets that isn't longer than a single page. The pitch should be less than 2 minutes long. Really, time yourself and practice in advance. That's why I have a series of videos called 2 minutes or less. Don't speak fast. Look them in the eyes. Smile. Smile more. Smiling is important. I'm trying to smile as much as I can during these videos, but it's hard. Laughing too. It can be contagious. The pitch should include a lot of yous, not me's. It's about what you can do for them, not who you are. It's a semantic difference when of phrasing, but psychologically, there's a big difference. For example, it should be you can benefit from the unique way that we work with our clients, rather than we work with our clients in a unique way. There's a reason you're keeping it short. No one enjoys a long monologue. Better to give them a few reasons that set you apart from the commodity known as the other lawyers, and ask them if they have any questions, of course. If they don't have any questions, that probably means your elevator pitch is not giving them food for thought. You need then to hone your pitch so it's about how you're different than the competition. So it makes them ask questions about more, like, can you tell me more about how you're different? Not boilerplate stuff that any old lawyer can offer. Get them curious. If they're not curious, say, why aren't you curious? So that leads us to 5. Ask why you didn't get the business. So let's face it, you might not get the business. Even if you're a perfect fit, there could be extenuating circumstances. For example, the CEO demanded that you use another firm, or maybe it was something else. It would be good to know why it didn't work. Feedback is rare, but invaluable. Maybe there's something you can fix for the next time you take a swing, or maybe you'll find out it was extenuating circumstances. The CEO demanded they hire someone else, so you don't feel so bad about yourself. So be bold and ask. I know it's hard to do. Ask them to be honest, as you're always looking to improve, and literally say that, I'm looking to improve. Can you honestly tell me, how I did? Of course, they still might fudge it because this is a hard conversation. So don't get too excited if the reasons given aren't related to your delivery style. It still might be you. If you know someone mutually by chance, ask them if they're willing to inquire as to the reasons why it didn't work out. Going through a third party increases the likelihood of you finding out the real reasons it didn't work.